Yeah, it is actually so great to be here, and we had to come and see Georgia with our own eyes. So, and I'm happy to have met the team of Melkenianing. As you know, with King Resettlement Program, we kind of give you the platform to help people resettle, even not just in America, but even Canada and Georgia now. And in order to help people properly, you need to go and see what it's all about. And that's why we want to see, they in flesh, they live, they legit. The program works. You can trust these people, and that is the main reason. There's so much opportunities in Georgia for people to resettle. A lot of business opportunity for people who are entrepreneurs, and a great team that you can totally trust. Worth it. I mean, they give you a great service with every single penny, and you can ask Hannah. She knows. She be a witness for that. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. But my main concern today is I don't think enough people in South Africa are aware of these initiatives, that they've actually got options and people willing to help them, to resettle them, to assist them. Because that was my biggest thing in South Africa. I researched everything. Where do you go? What do you do? Where don't we need visas for? And I don't think enough people are aware of this initiative. And the ones that are don't believe that we are real.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I mean, this is important. And this is part of why my husband and I came down, not to just do the trip, but to see everything around. Because, I mean, in the end of the day, you know, when you promote something, you want to know this is worth promotion. And what we've seen, we're going to still bring out a video with everything that we experienced in Georgia. And but I just think it is worth for people because you have a support system here. I mean, Georgia is a country that does not speaks a different language, so it is important to have people like Shaku, Vanu, that is real Georgians that know where to go, what to do, how to help, and they can literally take you by the hand and guide you through the first 3 months of the period that to integrate. And like Hannah said, she couldn't do it without you guys. And it's very, very important that people know that this is what they need. You know, you can't just go to another country and there we go.
I mean, they can, but they're going to battle like I did in the beginning. I'll give you an example. My laptop charger broke when I first got here. It took me a month and a half to find another cable. A month and a half. The other night it broke again. My kids broke it. And I sent them a message. They were at my house within 2 minutes, and they fixed my cable within 15 minutes. My computer was back up and running, and I started laughing, thinking, wow, last time this took me a month and a half. Now with their help and their support, it takes 15 minutes. It's little things like that, but it can make your life miserable.
Well, without them.
Yes, without them, of course. Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, in Georgia specifically, because there's a language barrier, that is why we need people like that. I mean, for this type of environment. Yes, there's other countries that you can go to and they speak English and it's easier. But in this environment, there's so much opportunity. There's so much, all of that. And I mean, I like the idea that you give them Georgian lessons. How many lessons have you had? 3 already. I mean,
3 lessons of hell.
Oh, nonsense! You can speak a little bit already.
Our tutor is amazing. She's a wonderful woman. She's very strict, and you have to practice, and she gives you like an exam every second time she comes. Yeah, she's very good, very good.
So, okay, say something that you've learned.
Kamerjaba.
Kamerjos.
So that's our main target. When we were planning what we can offer South Africans in order to easier their arrival in Georgia, to easier that very big process which is called just changing life from a white paper, which actually South Africans are doing, which Hannah did. She sold everything there and she arrived in Georgia. So she started everything from white paper.
Yes.
The main thing which we believe is we can support people when you arrive in a different country, in a new country. You just have many types of shocks, cultural shocks, maybe the just shock of people, new environment, new life, and different types of shocks. So we're like a shield. We are friends, best friends for that people who arrive, in order to support them to integrate into the society. That is our main target. And that when we were planning that project, we were thinking what we can offer to people. And the best thing we can offer is to be a friend, best friend. This is our service. So except being a best friend and except supporting people 24 hours, we're open 24 hours. Yes. And we're telling her to just ask questions. We're forcing her sometimes. Yes. But the main thing is that except that we're providing first step essentials to people who arrive in Georgia. What are the first step essentials? First step essential is accommodation. First step essential is
Medical insurance.
Medical insurance. So people who just arrive, except medical insurance, there is a bank account, there is a SIM card, many things. But the main thing is that our service covers persons who just arrive. They leave 3 months with just a bunch of information.
And support.
Yeah, and support. This is main thing. You know, you just arrive in a country and you have no other thoughts rather than how to learn Georgian, how to find a job. You don't. When you arrived, did you think of what were your first thoughts? To find a job? You were in a shop, right?
Yes.
Right?
That was the first thought, yes.
Yes, and you were in a rush. Am I right?
Yes.
So why you were in a rush? You wanted to quickly integrate into society, quickly get a job, and quickly secure yourself.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
So, did you feel the lightness when you had apartment, when you were transferred from airport to your home? Do you feel lightness of that pressure which you had
Yes,
on arrival?
definitely.
Yeah?
You know you've got a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You guys even put groceries in my fridge, so a lot of stress was taken off because when you land here, you don't even know where to buy a bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's how I landed. I landed with my 2 kids, and I didn't know where to go, what to do. No support, you know? And it's tough to figure things out that way.
Well, I mean, that's the same with when my husband and I got here. I mean, the first day we went and we just thought, well, okay, we're going to go and investigate and we want to change our money, and we didn't know where to change our money, and nobody, well, there's maybe a few people that understands English. So, and we actually said to each other, if it wasn't that we had you guys to actually kind of help us, I mean, you cannot do this alone.
Yeah.
You know, not in Georgia, not with the language barrier that we have. I mean, yes, there's quite a lot of English around here, but overall, you still need that support. And I mean, that's what I think is so awesome, that you guys are here and that you can actually help integrate and show people around. This is what you can do, that's what you can do. I mean, you walked with her husband literally to help him find a job. You were there, you could translate. And that makes a difference. Not everybody has that. And I mean, that is worth every penny to spend on that service.
Definitely.
You know.
That's
but
you know,
not.
we are not guaranteed a job. A lot of people ask that question, that what is the job opportunities there in Georgia, what we can do, is there any guarantee of job?
Let's answer the usual
Yes.
questions.
Yes, let's answer usual questions like how safe is Georgia? What was your first impression, Vanessa?
Well, I mean, we walked middle of the night. I think it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we decided, man, we want to go to the spa down the road, and we just strolled down, and no problem, nothing, safe. I mean, we really feel safe. No matter where it is. And I mean, we've been on the road yesterday. We had a private guide taking us everywhere, and no problem. Although the driving is quite crazy. So that was the only nervous thing that I had.
They're not worse than the South African taxis.
We don't use it.
So, but oh no! I mean, I fell in love with this place. I really did. So
No,
it's
so did
amazing.
I. This place is beautiful.
Yes.
It's beautiful. There's a lot of culture. I mean, this is an amazing thing. It's culture. It's, oh man, it's, no.
It's the people also.
It's the people.
It's the
yeah.
people. Look at this face.
Yes. Oh. And I look this small against him. And I love it. Oh, anyway.
Okay, so it is safe.
It's
And
safe.
then the next thing people say is this a scam? This
No.
must be a scam.
No, it is not. I mean, I totally understand that because, I mean, even in the beginning, King Resettlement Program, people also wanted to know, is this a scam? Is this the real thing? And of course, they will ask those questions because there are a lot of people out there that do scam people. I mean, we know of one or two people as well, you know, but I can honestly say there's no scam. I'm here. I see what it's about. Hannah is actually the first one that says, well, I've put my money down, and she got her money's worth, you know. More than. There we go. And I mean, you cannot ask for better. I mean, you're actually getting a family. It's not just a service, it's a family. You know,
it's a
I
support
feel
structure.
it's a support
Yes.
structure, and I mean, I feel at home. Okay. Apparently, I must speak louder. I don't know how loud.
Have some more Amarilla. It'll come naturally.
Oh yes, where's the Amarula? That's the part I am. Oh. My husband said I'm not talking normal. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, so it's not a scam. I don't know. I find it funny because there's videos of you guys coming out of the airport doors, right? So I don't know how we were supposed to scam that.
Yeah, but I mean, people do have, I mean, we have to understand there are concerns. People will have concerns because it's all new, it's all strange. People have to get out of, you know, they have to give up everything and put their trust totally in somebody else's hand. That is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, you know, to have concerns, and I don't think it's about just being a scam, it's about the concerns that people have because they literally give up everything to start a new life somewhere else. And the more comfort they have about it, the more they know this is legit, you can trust these people, the better. Because there's so much corruption in South Africa as it is.
Yeah,
you
okay,
know.
that's true.
You know, so who do you trust?
Yeah.
And you know, that is sort of a human factor, but I want to say it's trustworthy. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Pleasure. So, here we go.
What else do we hear about a lot? Let me think. I suppose a lot of people ask me now that want to come through with kids about schools.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell us a bit about the schools. Am I putting you on the spot? There's Georgian schools and there's English schools as well.
Yeah.
These are Georgian schools and English schools, but the differences in Georgian schools you learn English too.
Louder.
Like you can learn Georgian, and also you can learn English too.
But you also said something about these other languages you have a
like
choice
there's
of.
five main languages, or four, or no exact, but I think five. Also, you can you can choose between Russian, English, German, and French.
Okay.
Like in the school, so children can, or parents can choose which language, or you can choose two example in the schools. What it's not the private schools. It's
Yes, it's not private schools, but it's not like government schools in South Africa. We should mention that because there's a big difference between.
yeah, it's a government schools. What I'm saying, not a private, but there are also qualities that you can choose and learn like.
Yeah, because my children are in a government school at the moment. And it's not like government schools in South Africa, you know, it's much better quality. So people mustn't confuse the two. Our government with this government is like black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the education is the very important for our government, for I don't know, for Georgian people, and that's why the education is in high level compared to other countries around Georgia. And
Actually, what's connected to education, we have a lot of we have a tourism, education tourism in Georgia also. So most of Asian countries and for example from India, from Pakistan, from Emirates, non-EU countries, most of them try to move to Georgia to learn. And why? Because the education they get is very high level. The education they get is internationally recognized. That's the main thing. So, and except that it's very cheap to get education in Georgia.
We should answer that because a lot of people say they've been quoted between $1,000 and $2,000 per month, US dollars, for their children, each child, to attend school. And I'm saying that can't be right.
There does not exist at all such kind of school in Georgia, which costs 2,000 USD per month.
Okay.
2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 16,000 maybe. Maybe the schools which charge you per year.
Per year,
Yes.
not per month.
There are schools which are recognized by Oxford, by
Cambridge.
Cambridge.
University.
Okay,
So
UK.
those courses you get there, they are recognized in Oxford and Cambridge and different high-level universities. If you finish that, the fee for that school is 16,000 USD, and it starts from 8 plus. Before that, I don't know.
But it's definitely not $1,000 a month, no.
$2,000, $3,000 per month. There's no kindergarten, no preschool, or like you cannot find it because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to let people know because that's putting a lot of people off. They're saying we can't afford to educate our children in Georgia, and they've been given the wrong information.
Okay. In general, people are questioning us what opportunities they have, what they're gonna do in Georgia, what options they have, is it safe or not. They are questioning themselves a lot. But what I want to tell the people is that what options they have in South Africa at this moment. This is the main thing they should think about, you know, because South Africa now it's a very difficult situation. If they move to Europe or they move to Australia or USA, there are options, of course. There are possibilities, but that possibilities are harder. That possibilities are rather more expensive than Georgia. That's why Georgia is like more or less middle country, middle option from Australia, USA, or Canada, or other countries to just go, live, and start new, happy, calm, and safe life.
Yeah. The thing also what I had some people say, but this is a very poor country.
Does this look like a poor country?
Now, well, this is my explanation to it, and I think I shared that with Shaku. We realized that, you know, it's not maybe a first world country, but it's not a third world country either. It's kind of this in between. If there's like a second world country that existed, that's Georgia, because everywhere you go, you see new development, construction. So it's on its way of developing to become a first world country. And that's how I see it. You know, the opportunities are great. If you, it's like Shaku said, it's unlimited. You can come here, you can open a business, and you can then become something. You can become part of this growth, this economy that they are striving to do. I mean, it's still very brand new since even the first president, you said like 20 years, 17 years ago, 15 years ago. So 15 years, it's still a country that now is starting and building itself up again. So you've done very well for 15 years.
Well, if I compare this to South Africa, what is South Africa supposed to be? A first world country?
First world
That
country.
is so funny. Okay.
It was.
Let's compare South Africa to Georgia. Now, really? You would put South Africa above Georgia?
Well, I have been out of South Africa for quite a while, but even the time that I left, I could see the downfall. So how it is now and what I see is horrific. I mean, at this stage, I cannot compare it because there is no comparison. Georgia is definitely, in a lot of aspects, I can see a future for anybody. You can see that you will become part of this country that actually can grow to become something. You know, it's like we said, even the Boers went to South Africa. They built a country from nothing. They can do it here as well. The opportunities are there. It's unlimited. And I see the way that the constructions, the buildings that goes up, and what they've done already in Georgia. I mean, everywhere you go, you see new development. So that is a good point. That's a good thing to see. It's not breaking down. It's not going up in flames.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's little things. Like in South Africa, how long do you have to wait to get a new bank card, for example? Do you know, I tried to open a bank account just before I left. I had to go in and out of that bank 3-4 days. I still didn't get my bank card. Here in Georgia, it took, how long did it take you to get your bank card? Yeah.
15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. So that's why I'm saying I can't picture how South Africa could be a first world country and this is supposedly a third world country.
No, this is
here.
definitely not a third world country.
Definitely not.
No. I mean, first world country at this stage, I don't compare it with South Africa. I do compare it maybe with America. Okay, so America will be classified as a first world country. Okay, and this is why I say this is sort of the second world country, if something like that does exist, because you are on your way to become this thriving economy, because that's your goals, is to become that, and that's what you're busy doing. I mean, everywhere I go, I see that. So.
Then another thing people always ask us is, what opportunities are available? I think that's a bit of a hard question for us to answer.
Everything is available.
Everything is available. What opportunities are there for them personally? My advice would be maybe louder. Let's talk louder. My advice to those people would be, what field are you in? You know, then look in that field in Georgia. It is impossible for us to list the million opportunities that are here in Georgia. You've got your field. You can look for work in your field here, and if not, there are different opportunities available.
And I think you also
can use you as an example there. Hannah's experience in South Africa was as a bookkeeper. Hannah found a job now as a
kindergarten teacher.
Okay. And she's perfectly happy doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Are you not?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So it's all about being willing to adjust, compromise, and
Absolutely.
integrate.
That's a big thing. You
That's a
have
big
to realize if there's no job in your field, you have to take something else. You have to be prepared to work hard and just take what you can get.
Louder.
Or bring the thing closer if we're too soft.
Which is the best airline you can fly to Georgia?
Qatar
Qatar.
Airlines.
Qatar
Qatar.
Airlines is the best.
Absolutely, yes.
Really? That was our one question?
But that's not very expensive either.
No,
hey?
it's about 7,000 rand per person.
Oh, 5.
Dara.
Okay, but it also, remember that the airline fees also depends on the season where
Yes.
you're in, and also sometimes the day that you
you're
fly
flying.
out or do the return. I have, even when I booked, we played with our days, and if you play with your days, either the airline ticket will go up or down.
Yeah. So people just have to do that.
Yes. Yeah. You
Search
must
for
just
the cheapest day to fly.
Yes. But I think overall it's not bad from South Africa. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, any more? That's it.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's talk. There are no questions at all this morning.
Maybe because they can't hear us.
Yes. Yeah, they can hear us.
Oh.
Sound is better now. Just we need to talk louder. Don't ask questions leading. You know better the questions people ask you when they want to get more information. So this is the best chance I think to answer all the questions.
A lot of people say to me, what happens after the 3 months?
Yeah.
I think people are confused. Do we go back to South Africa after 3 months? A lot of people have said that to me, and I'm like, no, you don't have to go back to South Africa. The programs are designed for 3 months, so that that gives people enough time, don't you think, to learn some of the language,
Yes.
to understand how things work, and then would you think 2 months from now, 2.5 months from now, would you be comfortable to leave the program and pay your own rent? And
Definitely.
is it enough time?
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's what we mean with the 3 months programs. It's that support initially to teach you, to help you integrate.
You teach us to help ourselves. That's what
That's
you do.
it.
Yes, it's like a springboard for people to use to restart their lives here.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
So that's the 3 months programs. They can be extended to 6, 9, or 12 months. It depends on the people how long they want support for.
But and that's one thing that even with King Resettlement Program, I mean, and we're on the very same page. We just work in different countries, but we give you the tools to help yourself. We cannot spoon feed you. We cannot carry you all the time. In the end of the day, this is something that we give you that we give you the support system, and you make it or break it.
Yes.
It's
We can't
all
baby you.
about yourself.
Yes.
How much work and effort are you prepared to put into it?
Yes.
Because it's your future. It's you take the responsibility.
Yeah, we can't live your lives for you.
Yes.
We can give you the support and the tools and the
Yes.
encouragement.
Exactly.
But like Hannah's very good at that. She won't ask us for any help. She's part of a support package, but she won't ask for support.
But it's also good in one way because it shows character.
Yes,
It's
she's
like
strong.
She's strong.
Independent.
I can do this and I will do it. She doesn't. She's not.
She doesn't phone me every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
For example, her washing machine is in Russian. How long did it take you to figure that out instead of phoning your support program?
No comment.
Okay, we have some questions.
Yay!
And the question goes for dogs. Will I be able to
Dogs.
take my dogs
Oh.
with?
Oh yes, we get this a lot actually. A lot of people want to bring their dogs with. Let me just explain to people how Georgia is different to South Africa when it comes to pets. Okay. Here we see a lot of dogs on the street. Not as a bad thing, because people live more in apartments. It's sort of like they've got communal dogs. So you can go outside and love a dog and love another dog, and then the dog goes on its way. Not as many people have dogs as pets inside their houses here. So for them it's a bit of a strange thing. They're not like us who have got 4 dogs at home and 2 cats.
Oh.
Here people have...
Houses.
Yeah, houses are different.
Yes. In houses, yes, sure. That would be different, but houses cost a lot more money than apartments do, you know. So it's not possible for us to arrange a 4-bedroom house with a garden and a swimming pool for 3 months for you for $3,000. It's just not possible. It pushes the price up, unfortunately. It's doable, but it's a bit more expensive.
A lot
Quite a
more
bit,
expensive.
a lot,
Quite a lot
more.
more expensive. There are not a lot of pet-friendly places.
A ticket for a dog costs more than it does for a human.
Yeah, that's another thing. The plane tickets for these dogs are expensive.
So guys, in general, if you want to bring your dogs, we say yes, you can bring your dogs, but it costs
It
just
costs a
extra
lot of
money
money.
for taking the dogs by plane, and of course living with the dogs in an apartment or in a house. So another question is medical facilities, especially for children.
The medical care here is excellent. And I can talk because I've broken my leg. So I've ridden in their ambulances and gone to their hospitals. And it's just fabulous. It really is. It really is fabulous medical care. In South Africa, we're not used to pre-surgery checks. And I had mine yesterday. Everything from an EKG to, geez, what did they test? Everything. My blood. They've given me such peace of mind for my surgery on Monday that I'm not even scared anymore. They are so professional and they are so good at what they do. Really, the medical care is excellent.
But do you have I know that you offer a medical insurance
With the
for the
program.
people with the program
Yes.
at a certain fee. For a
No,
certain
it's
fee.
It's included.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's included.
It's included in
For
the
the
program.
okay, for 3 months. For the 3 months, and after that they can have
Extend
the
it.
option to extend it.
Yes.
Okay,
We're on the
Okay.
premium plan.
you're on the premium plan.
Yes.
Okay.
On the first 3 months, everything is covered, starting from
Your water bill.
bills, from medical insurance, for apartment, anything except food and transport, everything is covered.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But that is so cheap.
Yeah, food and transport is really cheap here.
yeah. Well, she told me that earlier when we were in the kitchen. She says that's one thing that she liked. It's like because she still translates the South African what it will cost in South African rand, you know, and what it's costing here, and then she will go. And it's like,
so
wow,
much cheaper.
what is it, like 65 cents? What?
65
cents?
cents for a Magnum ice cream.
And that is the
That-
same value
It's
as
like what? Not even $5?
five
Not
rand?
even $5.
Not even 5
Not
rand.
even
Not
five
even
rand.
Like
5
3 rand 50.
Yeah.
3 rand 50.
About.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
My transport to work and back every day is in our money about $2.50.
2 rand 50 to get to work and back.
Wow.
Yes,
Mm.
it's 50 tetri.
Wow.
So that's what
That's
we
50
say to
cents,
people.
yes.
We
Oh,
cover,
50 cents.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you say tetri.
Tetri.
Okay.
so we cover the major expenses, and people just have to worry about food and transport, which is so cheap that
Yeah,
we're
it's
laughing
nothing.
about it.
I bought 2 weeks worth of groceries for 90 lorry.
90 lorry is
Oh, really?
is 480
2 weeks worth of groceries. That's meat, it's steak, mince, chicken.
So now,
Cheese.
okay, if you
rand.
want,
Under 500
okay, for
rand.
people that now, over and above the program that they pay for the 3 months, and what will their budget in let's say rand, sort of, be to that they can kind of say, okay, if I bring this amount of money, how long will it last me
Last.
for 6 months, for
Yeah.
example?
I
Per
would-
month, or let's work it out per month then.
I would say for groceries about 500 for 2 weeks.
500 rand
For 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
depends how you
1,000
eat.
1,000
rand
rand a month for
gr-
food. That's all your meats, cheeses, Viennas, rice,
Wow.
everything included. And your transport, as I said, mine is 2 rand 50 a day.
So that's like what, 40 rand a month?
About.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
see?
yeah. That is why we say
Yeah,
this-
you get a Metro card, which you load with money.
Mhm.
And when you get on the yellow mashukas, Little, little taxis. You just
I
swipe
like it when you talk foreign.
Brazilian. You just swipe this little card, and for an hour and a half, it doesn't take money again. So if you're jumping from one thing to another thing, it doesn't take your money again.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's cool.
It takes that 50 tetri for an hour and a half.
Wow.
So if you're doing the train, the metro, you swipe it on the first metro. When you jump onto the second one, you don't pay again.
Okay, that's very
So
cool.
it's affordable.
And but the transport is very good here. The public transport
Yes.
in a way.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I mean you've got Ubers as well or taxis.
The Uber is very cheap. Very
Okay.
cheap. From
Yeah.
my house to the mall, which is a big trip, is like 4 lorry.
4 lorry.
Okay.
That's
cheap.
20 rand.
And that's now
Twaalf
taking
rand.
going into style, basically.
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
driving in
It's
style.
$20. And I
Yeah.
mean, in South Africa, if you take an Uber, I know. Because,
Is expensive.
oh, wow. It's like 300 rand to
Mhm.
get from here to there. And here it's 20 rand.
Yes.
I don't think people realize, you know,
Yeah.
how they're being ripped off in South Africa. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Even with food.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice to know. Yeah, so you know you have for those that actually if when they sell up everything and they have to decide, okay, this is I'm packing up, I'm selling everything, I'm going to pay for my program, I'm going to have this, and I'm going to do this or I do that. They can have a nice period and actually live better than what they would have lived in South
for
Africa.
sure.
Yes.
And building up in a way here with when it comes to furniture, things like that, is it easy?
Well, most of the places are fully
They're fully
furnished.
finished.
Oh, they're fully
They're
furnished.
fully furnished. So you don't need to worry about those additional expenses.
But that's apartments.
No,
So
that's any kind of
anything.
accommodation. Most of the
houses
accommodation-
too, fully furnished houses. You
Washing machine, everything.
Everything. Oscar, in her house, she said the only thing that was missing was a spoon.
Opskeplepel.
Opskeplepel.
were okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, it's got everything. Pots, pans, blankets, duvets, pillows,
Everything.
Seriously.
Yeah.
mattresses, beds.
Oh, you literally just come with a
Your
suitcase.
You
Yeah.
come with your suitcase, you unpack your suitcase, and you can carry on with your life. It's an instant. You just carry on. There's no this weird like, what am I doing? Where do I find this? Or there's none of that. You just unpack your bags, you carry on with your lives.
But I mean, and yeah, okay. And then also buying in and all of that's something that you can do on your own later on. You know, if you want to buy a house or buy a property or
We do offer those services
You
where we help people that want to buy houses.
okay. And well, there's actually quite a few new business deals that will be coming along. You know, it's like any company, they have to grow, and we go through your phases, and then we offer this, and the next moment you offer this and this and this. So
Yes, because of the people's demands. You
Exactly.
know, and their requests. Like, can you help us with this? We've grown in that manner because, you know, people are saying help us in this aspect and this aspect, and luckily we can.
yes,
That's how we create the programs.
yeah,
So if there is a demand, we create a special program designed for that, and that's how it works.
Oh, this is another thing. People all assume that it's freezing here.
Oh, yeah,
We don't want
dis
to come
warm.
there. It's so cold. Can you see that it's
oh yeah,
it's not cold.
it's quite hot. I think it was, we went up the mountains yesterday, and even there, I mean, I was walking around like this the whole day. It was only late at night we got home, and the breeze through well, we had our car windows open, so the breeze that came in, I started feeling a little bit of a chill. So I just had to throw something over my shoulder, but it wasn't freezing, it was just that chilling thing. But winter months,
The temperature drops to about -2, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, in Joburg, the temperature drops to -5. So I don't see what everybody's on about.
No big thing.
okay, no big thing.
No big thing.
Okay. Well,
Because, you know, for South Africans, that's a big thing. We want our weather, we want our braai, we want our rugby. Right?
yes.
We just had a braai.
And you good in rugby, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, you like your rugby. And Vano, tell us a little bit. You said something about that they're building this you're starting to
For the
build
Olympics.
for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Now that is a big thing. If a country starts preparing for Olympics, there is a lot of infrastructure that
Yeah.
has to be in place, even to get even considered for that. Not true.
Probably they are building a new city.
Yes, it's almost like building a new
Yeah.
city. Yes. So that's a positive thing.
We had the youth Olympic Games in Georgia.
You had the what?
Youth.
Youth.
Games.
Youth. Oh, the youth. Okay.
We had already.
Okay.
We're showing the next month.
Okay. Well, that shows you this potential. I know.
So
Any questions?
questions. Questions about medical aid, which we answered already. Medical facilities, we answered. Jamie, who else? Hi, Mama.
Jamie, look.
Oh, shame.
It's my
See,
daughter.
you got her almost in tears here. Actually, yeah, she isn't.
Stop it.
Oh, shame. If I cry, then I'm going to cry.
Oh.
Oh, shame. That's cute. Show me the
Ek drink
Amarula.
Amarula, sissie. Amarula in Georgia.
Ag, gee my ook 'n stukkie. Oh, shame, man. So, you must come visit your mother, please.
They're coming.
When?
December.
Oh, good. I'm trying to think what else people ask me often.
She didn't listen to my Georgian lesson. She was supposed to say hello, Deda.
Oh, that's another thing we found out.
Yeah. She's learning all my lessons. I take photos and then I send it to her.
In Georgia, and this is confusing because Mama is actually father or Papa.
Deda.
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 Yeah, but I mean, we say Papa or whatever. So Mama is actually Papa, and
Papa is
is
Mama.
no, Papa is grandfather, and Dada is Mommy. Oh, it's Mommy.
Mommy is daddy and daddy is mommy. It's
Yeah,
the other way
it's
around.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's so confusing.
Grandfather is Babua.
Babua.
Babua?
Babua.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Grandfather is Papa.
Okay, no, grandfather is Papa and Babua is.
Babua is
Then
grandfather.
both.
Oh, so that's
Language
two.
difference.
Yeah, like one of
Papa
the part of
is
Georgia,
just-
they use Babua, the other part
If
is
you
Papa.
say grandfather, you say Babua. If you say grandpa, you say Papa.
Oh, and what is great grandfather or great grandpa?
Papa.
Didi.
Didi Papa.
Didi Papa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Just-
Okay.
Yeah, if you say
Big
thank
father.
you or big thank you very much, Didi Matlaba.
Didi Matlaba.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anna
Right.
is great.
She's good
English.
No.
Teacher is telling me that she's
Oh no, I'm
she's
struggling.
so fast. She had never had such kind of
Yeah, well, there we
This
go.
is the first time. After when you learn, it will be more easy for you.
Yes.
O, hy sê
Hallo?
mense haar man wil met haar praat met 'n seer hart, so verskoon haar net.
Hello,
I
is jy klaar?
stop. I will ons join this.
Okay.
Ons het gebraai en hy soekie vleisies.
Yes.
Can you please send the Uber to fetch him with her? Leslie.
So there are no questions.
Yes.
He's at the house. We must just send a taxi to fetch him.
Bring him here.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope people can hear us. I hope this was not full
Yandex.
like and people can't hear what we're doing.
So this is really too good to be true.
Yeah, it's true. See, I've got Amarula. It's true.
So guys, with it, can you get sponsor to help me of this less important South African
Yeah, with the less fortunate South Africans, Vanessa and I are working on a plan
Yeah.
to get sponsors to help those people join our programs. Okay, we are working on it, but it's not something that can happen overnight. And before that can happen, we need to create more awareness of this initiative.
True. Now, I mean, part of King Resettlement Program is also to start helping people and getting sponsors. And the thing is, we will start a whole series of fundraising because that's what we need. We need people to actually donate, help us, and that's also part of the reason why I'm here, because I've compiled the videos and we need to show people what it's about, what are we going to do. So there's a lot of more information that we'll probably share, and we'll compile those videos so people will know what it's about, why we're doing what we're doing, and then in a way to raise the funds to help, even if it's partial sponsorship, because I mean, you might have to pay a part of it, and we will see if we can sponsor the other part. But it is something that takes time, and unfortunately, you know, we rely on other people to actually give us their money in order to do that, to help us. Yeah. So we need donations, and hopefully that will happen soon.
Yes, we are working on it.
We are working
on
it.
it. We're aware of the fact that a lot of people have been left in a situation due to no fault of their own, where they are just financially
incapable
right now.
Yes.
And we're not forgetting about those people. We're not.
No.
We are not forgetting about you. We are working on a plan.
Yeah.
That is a question. What happens after 1 year when visa expires?
Then you go to Armenia for the weekend and come back in for another year.
Not during the weekend. You can just go out and back.
Yes, you just go out and back in.
And also, just that people want to know, because I've had that situation too. You know, make sure that your passports are valid for 5 to 10 years, the maximum that you can. Your driver's license, that it's valued the maximum that it can be. You know, yes, we know and understand these situations that you have to get out and you don't have time to do those things. But if it's possible, renew, make sure you've got valid passports, valid driver's license, and then also an unabridged birth certificate. Oh, vital. Please get that. And anybody else, and this is kind of also, it's not compulsory, but it's a good thing to have, is a police clearance. It's always a good thing to have. Well, for us it is in the United States. It's a good thing to have. But it's not, you don't have to have it, but it's always better. And yeah, just make sure about that. Because of this situation, it takes time to get your permanent residency. It takes time for the citizenship to come through. So make sure that it's not just valid for 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
Never mind that. Make sure you have a passport. I have so many people who contact me and they're like, oh, I'll go next week to do mine. You're going to wait another 4 months.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that's starting to happen. That I've noticed for a lot of people now. They are really struggling to get their passports. They're really struggling to get their unabridged certificates, and in cases with the United States, they're struggling to get visas. It's like everything is stretched out almost on purpose.
Of course, on
My daughter
purpose.
has applied for her passport, and she said they told her the waiting period is about 4 months.
Okay, 4 months. Now, I'm going to ask him a question. How long does it take to get your passport in Georgia?
1 day.
That's a first world country and this isn't. Come on.
So there was a question, why unabridged birth certificate?
Unabridged birth certificate.
The unabridged birth certificate. Okay, now these days, usually have a normal birth certificate, which only shows your name and where you've born. Unabridged birth certificate, and I think it's now standard with any people that's born, but most of the older people or older generation will have a normal birth certificate. So you have to apply for an unabridged birth certificate. The unabridged birth certificate will show your name, your ID, your mother, and your father. reflects on that. So it is kind of the whole family tree that's on your birth certificate. So it has to reflect your parents' names and ID numbers as well.
Yeah. So this is mandatory for USA, maybe, right?
For us, it's definitely
Yes.
mandatory.
So
yes.
for Georgia, it's not mandatory. For Georgia, you should have valid passport, at least next 5 years.
For South Africa, excuse me, it's mandatory. You can't go out if you don't have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't fly out.
Yes,
Yes,
you can't go
you
out
for
if
every
you don't
country,
have it.
Yes.
you cannot fly out. If you
Mm.
don't. For South
for the-
Africa,
Yes.
you need birth certificate.
You can't
Yes.
go out if you don't
Okay,
have
okay,
it.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay. For Georgia, you need just passport, and in case you are, it will be good for you if you will take marriage certificate also, because if you are married, you should get the certificate that you are married. If you are divorced or if you have never been married, you should get the certificate of that the confirmation from your government services that you are not married.
Married, okay.
In
I
case
didn't
you
get
will
that.
need to get married in Georgia,
Look at me.
or get married in Georgia, you will need that certificate that you are not married in official
Dis
marriage
maklik, jy
in
kan
South
net die
Africa.
kontrak
So
van
that's
hulle
a
oorgeskryf.
very important topic also in case you need to get married on divorce or something like this in Georgia.
Okay, and that actually is for United States too.
Yeah,
You know, that
for every
counts
country of
for
the
every
world.
country. So, yeah.
Somebody's asking here, is there a coal mine industry?
No.
No, short answer. And somebody's asking, what are you doing work-wise?
Me,
Yes.
kindergarten teacher.
And your husband is a professional
He's
welder.
a professional welder, boilermaker.
And you both had work within less than 2 weeks of being here.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Because everybody's like, oh, we're not going to find work.
Yeah, no, it was quick.
Don't be pessimistic.
Yeah. Please.
Yes, be
Yes.
optimistic.
Be optimistic.
Waar daar 'n wil is daar 'n weg.
Daar's hy.
Yes.
And have faith, people. It's because all
Yeah.
of this is a step in faith. If you have no faith, then you can't do this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hannah, you guys are doing so well and are setting a great example for people who are afraid of taking the leap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Vat hom, Fluffy.
Your skinny pig.
Dis nie maklik nie. Dis nie elke dag maklik nie. Maar
Natuurlijk
dis die
nie.
moeite werd.
Waar dink mense nou dit gaan so maklik wees, jy weet? Maar dit is baie makliker as wat dit sou gewees het alleen.
Oh yes.
Ja.
Ek sou dit nie van die lughawe afgemaak het nie.
Regtig, ek dink nie so erg.
Ja, dis so erg.
Maar okay.
I wouldn't have made it past the airport. How do you call it taxi in Georgian?
that's
Taxi?
Yeah, but if you don't know. And
And you'll
FYI,
get
don't use the airport taxi.
Yeah, no, it's very expensive.
yes.
When
there
I
is-
100
landed here,
lari.
yeah,
Wow.
when I
100
landed here
lari.
myself, hey, I paid 80 lari to drive to here, basically. So that's what's going to happen to the other people,
Oh,
and that's
good
what
for
we're
me.
trying to
Thank
stop.
That's why we include in our services airplane transfer.
There we
Yes.
go.
They charge you 100 lari because you're foreigner and you don't know better.
Yes.
If you take your own transport, it costs you, my house is quite far, so it costs me, I think, 10 or 15 lari.
Mm-hmm.
So 100, they will charge you that.
Yeah.
There's a lady here that says she's a French bulldog breeder. Would she be able to bring her dogs with?
We talked about that.
Oh, is that the one that you covered?
Yes,
But
yes.
for breeders, I think it's a bit different than to somebody's pets. Huh?
Any pets that I read, I don't know if I'm correct, but I read on your government website,
Yeah.
any household pet, like a dog and a cat, is not a problem to bring in. You just need to take it to the vet for a rabies injection and a full medical clearance. And it doesn't have to go into
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Yeah,
No,
it doesn't
it
have to go to quarantine. If it's small enough to fit in a cage that fits under an aeroplane seat, you can take it on the plane with you.
Oh.
But if it doesn't fit in that cage, you have to put it down below.
Yes. You
And
have to kind of check it in.
You have to obviously pay full price ticket for your animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then Marty's asking, do you go to classes to learn the language? Yes, they have a tutor. So
Yes.
1.5 hours twice a week,
Mhm.
they sit with a tutor and they learn the language.
Yes, Mari.
Yes,
That's
teacher
Marie.
with
Marie.
STEM, and so
Yes.
Yes, and
Yes.
it's helping.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you're very good with it, actually. Now somebody else is asking, is there a possibility to arrange that the old folks meet up with the other old folks to help with the transition, as it will get lonely? Yes, of course. That is what
Oh,
we're doing. We're trying to
yes.
create a community environment here, a support structure.
Mhm.
You know, you'll make friends.
You know, I've got a great idea. In America, we have all these Facebook groups. So we have a Facebook group for Dallas. We have a Facebook group for Houston. We've got a Facebook group for this one, for that one, and then one for the state as well. So that's also something that you can do is create a Facebook group for Georgia and or Tbilisi, and people join that Facebook group, and that's how people start communicating. And I mean, even on Facebook, when I arrived in the United States, I joined one of these Facebooks, and a Facebook for Texas Poiki. So we have once a year we've got
Oh,
our Texas
Poiki.
Poiki. Yeah, so all the South Africans come together and we have our Poiki. And this is kind of the same thing that you can create here too. It's like use a Facebook group, maybe organize once a month one of the like Hannah can start this and say like, you know what, once a month we get together
And
to
we
send
braai.
out the notice, we braai, or we meet at this coffee shop, or we do something. And this is the way that the South Africans start mingling, because I have to say that makes a huge difference when you're in a different country. And I mean, yes, I went to the United States, but it made it so much easier to mix and mingle with your own kind too, because you feel a little bit, you're not alone, you're not an island, you know, so it makes it easier.
And you share ideas.
And you share ideas.
We can get the cheapest
absolutely.
cheese.
Yes.
What is the best brand for this and that, and
Exactly.
recipes.
Yes,
You
and that's
learn.
what we do all the time.
And what we envision also is to get together like we did today. We have a braai, we all just talk.
Yes.
You know, we become friends. I mean, it's not like you're a customer. You know.
There we go.
so partially we have started that group. We have Balkan Yemen group, dedicated group for discussions for any topics related to Georgia, related to if anyone can communicate with each other. So we have a page and the group Balkan Yemen. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
so we have a group also, but for the future, that's really good idea to connect.
Yes.
Yes, we were thinking the ways we can connect South Africans together, and the best way Lindy is suggesting is a bra.
A braai.
Say it nicely.
Yes, yes, bra.
Not braai, braai.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you just say South Africans in Georgia.
Right.
That's your Facebook group, and then you do your braai and you do
Yes.
all of that. You do
Oh,
your good
Poiki.
Poiki.
Malkos.
Oh,
Oh,
ooh,
cook
there-
sisters.
Yeah, we have an old lady in Houston making cook sisters, and man, everybody buys from her.
Okay, about the relationship with Russia. Russia and Georgia has very complicated relationship. In some stages, actually, in general, Russia is occupying 30% of Georgian land, but now situation is very calm. So Georgia is starting to talk with Russia in some political ways. Russian people are more than welcome in Georgia, so we have very good relationship with the Russian people. But politics is a completely different thing, you know. This is a thing which governments are playing on global stage. So sometimes relationship between people and the politics may not be similar. So that's what is happening, for example, with Georgia and Russia. Russian people are coming, they are loving Georgia. Last year we had more than 3 million Russian tourists in Georgia. This year, there were some protests. Russian Airlines paused their flights to Georgia, but it will be renewed, and Russians are more than welcome in Georgia. So we have open borders, we have visa-free regime with Russia, so Russians are coming into Georgia, tasting Georgian wine, enjoying Georgian culture. So
Look, they've got a better
a
relationship.
good relationship.
A better relationship than the EFF and the ANC. Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
yes.
Well, let me put it this way. Talking about the red wine.
Oh, you in this
Oh.
This is
Oh,
too like it.
Oh my word. Seriously, people. Okay, now what we've learned yesterday, there are two types of wine, and it's the one is the real Georgian wine, which is like more dry, and then you have the, what was it, the European style wine, which is more your semi-sweets, which is my favorite. I mean, the best wine
Definitely.
ever.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh.
so good.
So good. Really, really. Hey?
The beer is good.
I
I'm not a beer drinker.
But
I
it
hate
is good,
South
eh?
African beer
Oh, I
because it's
can't-
so bitter.
bitter.
It's horrible.
Oh, really? I
But
haven't
this
tasted
is-
that.
It's like
sweet.
a sweet
Oh,
beer.
really?
It's like the wine.
Yeah,
It's sweet.
it's sweet.
Oh, because
And
I
when
don't
it's
drink
so
beer
hot-
at
Neither
all.
did I, but this is
It's
good.
sweet.
Oh, really? I have to try
And it
that.
cools you down faster than cold drink. And it's cheap. It's
Okay.
cheaper than water.
Okay. Wow, cheaper than water. You'll have a lot of drunk people out there.
Matty's asking if there are any Jewish people in Georgia.
Yes, and you can find any nationality, I think so, in Georgia. Georgia was always a country which is hub between nationalities. For example, between Armenians and Azerbaijanians, between Russians and Turkish, between Turkish and Armenians. So Georgia has always been a hub country where, not to mention religion, nationality, or something like this, that people get connected in Georgia. That is that comes from ancient times. So Jewish people feel very comfortable in Georgia. They were feeling comfortable even during World War I and World War II. So Georgia, there are Jewish people in Georgia, and they lived here for a long time.
Yeah, the country is predominantly Christian, Orthodox Christian.
Yes, 90%.
90% Christian, but like he's answered the question, there are Jewish people as well.
Yes, any religion is welcomed in Georgia. We have 90% of Georgians are Christians, but we don't pay any special attention to people who have different religion or different belief systems or something like this. So where we look at humans as they are humans, not what they think as
So
religious.
we have a synagogue.
Yes, we have synagogue in downtown.
Okay. Yes, have we been talking for long? I
Yeah.
think we have. Let's say goodbye for now.
Yeah, wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Let's finish up for today.
My one leaf.
Oh, yes, Leslie.
Okay, now well, just in time for the end.
Well, I think people are getting bored with us. So they're like, oh, thank
Okay.
you. You're welcome, Marty.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Okay, so yeah.
Well, thank you for the
today.
opportunity again.
Yeah, and if anybody's got queries about, or family or friends who want to explore the option of going to America, Vanessa will assist you with King Resettlement Program.
Yes, Vanessa is really doing a great job. She's
Sorry.
she's one of the persons I was not believing does
Leslie.
exist, that she's doing really. She's donating her own funds sometimes. She's donating her own energy, time to a people who has only connection that they are from minority of South Africans. So she's doing really great. She's trying to get investors, get funds for that people, and I think we all should try to support them. For
Say net, say hello.
Hi.
hello. How are you? Fine.
My sussie Renee.
Okay.
My sussie Renee het na gesê.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's enough for one day.
Yes.
We're going to do this to you again.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.